You know that feeling when you're so close to something you can almost taste it, and then it just vanishes? Imagine that happening 3 years in a row. Same tournament, same dream, same heartbreak. That's Jeeno Thitikul's reality at the Maybank Championship. And after what went down in 2025, the golf world is asking a question nobody wants to say out loud. Did the wrong player win? I'm not trying to start drama here, but when you look at the numbers, the rankings, and what actually happened that week in Malaysia, there's a legitimate case that the best golfer didn't walk away with the trophy. And before you come at me in the comments, just hear me out, because this story goes deeper than just one tournament, one playoff, or one missed putt.
That's what it is now.
How does it feel after what happened a few weeks ago to come here and get the job done?
This is about what it means to deserve something in golf, and whether being the best all year long matters when someone else gets hot at exactly the right moment.
I think I try to be aggressive on every single hole that I have here because, you know, it's no cuts, it's the course and the green wasn't that, like, bounce is kind of soft, so you can be aggressive on the pin. And then I think just like the same game plan that I have.
Let's start by establishing who Jinoo Thitikul actually is, because if you're not following the LPGA Tour religiously, you might not fully appreciate just how dominant she's been. We're not talking about a good player having a solid season. We're talking about a generational talent in the middle of a historic year. Jeeno shows up to Kuala Lumpur Golf and Country Club in February 2025 as the world number one.
Heartbreaking loss, and you know that bugged her for several weeks, and she mentioned that. It was in her mind, and I think we've all gone through that. We've blown a tournament that it takes weeks or maybe sometimes months to forget about.
But that ranking doesn't even tell the full story. She's not just sitting at number one by a narrow margin, she's dominating the entire tour. 2 LPGA victories already that season, the Mizuho Americas Open in May and the Buick LPGA Shanghai in October. That makes her the only 2-time winner on tour in 2025. Let that sink in for a second. In a season with 27 different tournament winners across the LPGA schedule, Jeeno stands completely alone as the only player who's won multiple times.
Miyu Yamashita comes from 8 shots back, and the rookie from Japan is a winner in Malaysia.
That's not luck. That's not good timing. That's sustained excellence at the absolute highest level of professional golf. Her consistency is borderline supernatural. 18 tournament starts in 2025. 17 cuts made. That's a 94.4% cut-making rate, which is elite by any standard. She doesn't have off weeks where she mysteriously disappears. She doesn't miss cuts and fall off the radar. She shows up, she competes, and she contends every single time she tees it up. But the top 10 finishes? That's where the story gets really impressive. 12 top 10s in 18 starts. That's a 67% top 10 rate. 2 out of every 3 tournaments, Jeeno's finishing in the top 10. That level of consistency is what separates great players from generational talents. You can have a hot week and win a tournament. You can catch fire for a month and string together a few good finishes. But maintaining that level of performance week after week, month after month, that's championship-level golf. She's leading the race to CME Globe standings by a massive margin, over 1,000 points clear of second place. She's dominating the Rolex Player of the Year race with 162 points.
Jeeno, Thitikul for birdie at 10.
Sitting 39 points ahead of her nearest competitor. Those aren't narrow leads that could evaporate with one bad week. Those are commanding, season-defining advantages that reflect sustained dominance over an entire year. And here's the kicker. She's only 22 years old, just 22. Most players at that age are still trying to figure out how to compete consistently on tour. They're learning how to handle pressure, how to manage their games on different courses, how to deal with the mental grind of professional golf. Jeeno's already rewriting record books and establishing herself as the dominant force in women's golf. Oh, and one more thing. She's the defending CME Group Tour Championship winner from 2024. Last year, she walked away with a record-breaking $4 million winner's check, the largest single prize in women's golf history. When the pressure was at its absolute highest and the stakes were at their biggest, Jeeno delivered. That's what champions do. That's what the best players in the world do when everything's on the line. So when Jeeno Thitikul shows up to a tournament, expectations follow her.
So frustrating a little bit because I missed some putts, and then I think like too easy to fall on some holes. But overall, still under par, so I'm just happy about that.
She's not hoping to contend. She's not trying to sneak into the top 10. She's expected to win. And at a venue that's haunted her for 3 consecutive years, those expectations were even higher. Because the Maybank Championship isn't just another tournament for Jeeno. It's unfinished business. It's a trophy that's cruelly eluded her twice before in the most painful, heartbreaking ways you can imagine in professional golf. And let me take you back to 2023. Jeeno's playing in the final group, right in contention to win her first Maybank Championship. The tournament goes to a playoff against France's Céline Boutier. Not just any playoff, a 9-hole playoff. 9 extra holes in oppressive tropical heat and humidity.
That's so many drama in my golf career for sure. I mean, like, to be honest, I play against Minami where she's played a really great job out there. I mean, like, she crushed it out there on Tuesday till Sunday, but I don't know what's happening on me. I mean, like, I'm trying to make the best I can.
Imagine the mental exhaustion. Imagine the physical toll. You've already played 72 holes of championship golf, and now you're grinding through what's essentially another full round, giving absolutely everything you have, pushing your body and mind to their absolute limits. And she still comes up short. That playoff remains one of the longest in LPGA history, and Jeeno was on the losing end of it. That kind of loss doesn't just sting for a day or two. It lingers. It follows you to the next tournament and the one after that. According to interviews at the time, she admitted it bugged her for several weeks. She couldn't stop thinking about the putts she missed, the shots she'd like to have back, the decisions she'd make differently if given another chance. But you know what? She comes back in 2024 more determined than ever. And she plays brilliantly. 22 under par over 4 days. An incredible score by any measure.
Jim, Jeeno is now the first player on the LPGA this season to win multiple events. What kind of statement do you think a victory at this final stretch of the season says right now?
She's in the final pairing on Sunday. She's executing her game plan. Everything's clicking. This is supposed to be the year she exercises those demons from 2023. And then China's running yin edges her by 1 stroke. 1 single stroke. The razor-thin difference between being a champion and being a runner-up. The margin couldn't possibly have been thinner or more painful. You can't get closer to winning a golf tournament without actually winning it. And for the second consecutive year, Jeeno's watching someone else hold the Maybank Championship trophy while she's left wondering what could have been. So when February 2025 rolls around and Jeeno arrives at Kuala Lumpur Golf and Country Club,
I don't know like how far I have, but definitely long. I mean, like, definitely I can't go in true for sure.
the narrative is already written in everyone's minds. This is the redemption arc. This is the year the world #1 finally breaks through at the tournament that's tormented her. 3rd time's the charm, right? The golf gods owe her this one after 2 years of heartbreak. Confidence is oozing from her in the lead up to the tournament, and why wouldn't it be? She knows this course intimately at this point. She's played it twice under tournament pressure, come agonizingly close both times, and understands exactly what's required to win. Every hole, every green, every spot where you can be aggressive, every place where you need to play conservatively, she's got it all mapped out in her head. The first 3 rounds go according to plan. Jeeno's not setting the world on fire with birdies on every hole, but she's playing solid, consistent golf. She's avoiding the big mistakes that can derail a tournament. She's right there in contention, exactly where she needs to be, setting herself up for a Sunday charge.
I think because it's just like easy, like a mistake that I make on the front 9, which is like, like I don't think it's gonna cross too much, and I don't want to take it too personal.
Going into the final round, she's sitting near the top of the leaderboard with a completely legitimate chance to finally claim this elusive trophy that slipped through her fingers twice before. But Sunday Sundays when things start to unravel, not catastrophically, not in dramatic train wreck fashion where you shoot 80 and tumble down the leaderboard. Just enough to make the difference between winning and watching someone else celebrate. The putter, normally one of Jeeno's most reliable weapons, goes cold at the absolute worst possible time. We're talking about putts from 8 feet that normally drop without hesitation, birdie opportunities on par 5s that should be automatic conversions. The kind of putts she's been making all season long, the ones that have helped her rack up 12 top 10 finishes and 2 victories. But on this Sunday, in this tournament that she wants more than any other, they're staying above ground. Every missed putt compounds the frustration. You can see it in her body language as the round progresses. The rhythm that carried her to wins earlier in the season, it's nowhere to be found when she needs it most. And in golf, when your putter goes cold, there's not much you can do except keep grinding and hope the next one drops. Meanwhile, 8 shots back at the start of Sunday's round, there's a 20-year-old rookie from Japan named Miyu Yamashita. And Yamashita's having the absolute round of her life. 7 birdies, 0 bogeys, a flawless 65 that charges her from being an afterthought to forcing her way into a playoff. It's genuinely spectacular golf, the kind of Sunday performance that wins tournaments and makes careers. But here's what makes this situation so complex, so worthy of debate.
It's a little frustrating a little bit because I made some putts and then I think too easy to fall.
When you start a final round 8 shots behind the leaders, you're playing with completely different psychology than the players at the top of the leaderboard. 8 shots back means 0 pressure. Nobody expects you to win from that position. Commentators aren't talking about you. Fans aren't watching your every move. You're essentially playing free golf, swinging without consequence, putting without the fear of what a miss might mean for your chances of winning. It's actually liberating in a way that front-runners can never experience. You can be aggressive on approach shots because bogey doesn't really hurt you. You can fire at pins without worrying about the consequences. You can make that aggressive putt because even if you blow it 6 feet past and miss coming back, you weren't going to win anyway. There's a freedom that comes with having nothing to lose. Contrast that with Jeeno's situation. She's the world #1. She's the favorite. She's been knocking on this door for 3 consecutive years. Every shot she hits carries the weight of 3 years of heartbreak. Every putt matters because she knows, everyone knows, that she's supposed to win this tournament. The pressure of expectation is enormous. You're not playing free golf when you're in that position. You're playing under the crushing weight of being the best player in the world who hasn't been able to close out this one specific tournament. When the dust settles Sunday afternoon, Jeeno posts 17 under par. In most tournaments, on most weeks, that's a winning score. It's a number that reflects quality golf over 4 days. But at the 2025 Maybank Championship, it leaves her 1 shot, just 1 measly shot, out of the playoff. She finishes tied for 4th, close enough to taste victory, close enough to wonder what would have happened if just one of those putts on Sunday had dropped, but too far away to actually have a chance at the trophy she's been chasing for 3 years. The playoff features Yamashita, Australia's Hannah Green, and South Korea's Hyejin Choi, 3 players battling it out in sudden death while Jeeno can only watch from the clubhouse, replaying every missed putt in her mind, knowing that if literally any one of them had fallen, she'd be out there competing for the trophy instead of being a spectator. And then Yamashita, playing with absolute freedom and nothing to lose, drains a 20-foot birdie putt on the first playoff hole to win it. The celebration is joyous. Her caddy's pumping his fist. Her team's going crazy. The rookie story is compelling. The 8-shot comeback narrative is perfect for headlines. Social media explodes with celebration of this incredible Cinderella moment. But somewhere in that clubhouse, Jeeno Thitikul is processing her 3rd consecutive Maybank heartbreak. And this one might hurt worst of all, because in 2023 she lost a marathon playoff. You can live with that. In 2024, someone played better golf and beat her by a shot. Painful, but acceptable. But in 2025, she was right there, one shot away from being in that playoff, so close she could feel the trophy in her hands before it vanished again. The cruelty of golf laid bare, one shot, the difference between having a chance and being a spectator, the margin between redemption and another year of what-ifs. Now here's where we get into the controversial part. Here's where I make the argument that might upset some people, but I think deserves to be heard and debated. Based purely on merit, form, and season-long excellence, did Jeeno Thitikul deserve to win the Maybank Championship more than anyone else in that field? Let's start with the most obvious point. She's the world number one. That ranking isn't handed out randomly or based on one hot week. It's earned through sustained excellence at the highest level of competition against the best players in the world. You don't become number one by accident. Yamashita is an incredible talent, absolutely no question about that. But at the time of the Maybank Championship, she was world number 6. That's elite, that's exceptional, but it's not number one. And there's a meaningful difference between being the 6th best player in the world and being the absolute best player on the entire planet. Jeeno entered Maybank as the only 2-time winner on the LPGA Tour in 2025. Yamashita had won once, the Chevron Championship, which is a major, and that's absolutely massive. Winning a major is the pinnacle of golf. But at that specific point in the season, she still had just one LPGA victory under her belt. When you're talking about who deserves to win based on the body of work throughout the year, the player with 2 wins and the world number 1 ranking objectively has a stronger case. The consistency argument is overwhelming when you really dig into the numbers. Jeeno's 12 top 10 finishes in 18 starts versus Yamashita's 10 top 10s in 20 starts. Jeeno's doing it with higher frequency and better efficiency. She's the steadier, more reliable player week in and week out. That might not sound like a huge difference, but over the course of a full season, it absolutely is. Then there's the specific history at Maybank. This was Jeeno's 3rd consecutive year being in serious contention at this tournament. She'd proven she could compete on this course, she could handle the pressure of being in the mix on Sunday, she could post winning scores. She understood the nuances of the layout, the greens, the conditions. This wasn't her first rodeo at Kuala Lumpur, it was her redemption arc 3 years in the making. For Yamashita, this was her first Maybank Championship, her first time playing this course in a competitive tournament setting. No history, no experience, no battle scars from previous years, no demons to exercise. She showed up, played great golf, and won, which is awesome. But should one phenomenal round on Sunday trump 3 years of proving yourself on a specific golf course? That's a legitimate question worth asking. From a pure golf quality standpoint, consider what Jeeno brings to the table. Her ball striking is elite tier. She ranks in the top 10 in greens and regulation. Her course management is mature beyond her 22 years. Her mental game, despite these Maybank heartbreaks, remains strong enough to keep her at world number 1. She doesn't just have talent, she has the complete game required for sustained excellence at the highest level. The Player of the Year race tells a very clear story. Jeeno leads by 39 points. That's a substantial, significant margin. Yamashita, despite her major championship win and despite adding the Maybank title, is second in the race, but considerably behind. The LPGA Tour's own point system, which is specifically designed to reward consistent excellence throughout an entire season, rather than just 1 or 2 big wins, says definitively that Jeeno has been the better player in 2025. And let's address the elephant in the room, the comeback narrative. Yes, coming from 8 shots back is impressive. It's historically significant. It makes for a great story. But is it more impressive than being at the top of the leaderboard from the very start of the tournament? Is catching lightning in a bottle for one spectacular round more valuable than sustained excellence over 4 full days of championship golf? Front-runners don't get the same credit as comeback artists, but maybe they should. Leading from the front requires a completely different kind of mental toughness. You're carrying the pressure from the first tee shot on Thursday morning. Every single round, you're the target that everyone else is chasing. Every mistake gets magnified because you're at the top of the leaderboard and everyone's watching. There's nowhere to hide. No freedom to play loose golf because the weight of expectation sits on every single shot you hit. Yamashita played amazing golf on Sunday. Nobody's arguing against that. But she played it with zero expectations, complete freedom, and absolutely nothing to lose. She was 8 shots back. Even if she shot 65, she needed other players to stumble for it to matter. That's a fundamentally different psychological situation than what Jeeno was dealing with. Jeeno played her final round under the crushing weight of 3 years of heartbreak at this specific tournament, world #1 expectations from media and fans, and the pressure of being the clear favorite to win. She had to deal with knowing that everyone expected her to finally break through and claim this trophy. Those are completely different psychological challenges, and we should acknowledge that when we evaluate what happened. Here's the uncomfortable question that I want to pose to you. If you're building a team tomorrow and you need one player to go out and win a golf tournament for you, who are you picking? The world #1 with 2 wins this season, 12 top 10 finishes, and a proven track record of sustained excellence? Or the player who caught fire at exactly the right moment for one incredible round? I think most people, if they're being completely honest, would pick Jeeno, because over the course of a full season, over the course of a full career, she's proven she's the best player in women's golf right now. That's not a knock on Yamashita. It's just the reality of where both players stand at this moment in time. But here's the thing about golf. It doesn't always reward the best player. Sometimes it rewards the hottest putter on Sunday afternoon. Sometimes it rewards the player who catches fire at exactly the right moment. Sometimes it rewards the comeback artist who goes unconscious for 18 holes and makes everything they look at. And that's exactly what happened at the 2025 Maybank Championship. Should have won and did win are 2 completely different things in golf. And based on merit, form, world ranking, and overall season-long excellence, Jeeno Thitikul had the stronger case for deserving that Maybank trophy. Now, before the comments section explodes, I want to be absolutely crystal clear about something. This is not about taking anything away from Miyu Yamashita's achievement, not even a little bit. Comebacks from 8 shots back are historically rare and genuinely impressive. Her 65 on Sunday was phenomenal golf. Her playoff birdie was clutch as hell. She made the putt when it mattered most. She earned her victory through execution in the moment when championships are decided. But it's also completely okay, necessary even, to acknowledge that sometimes golf doesn't reward the player who's been the best all year long. Sometimes the hottest putter wins. Sometimes the player with nothing to lose plays better than the player carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. Sometimes the comeback artist beats the steady front-runner who's been grinding all season. Jeeno Thitikul remains the world #1. She's still the heavy favorite for Player of the Year. She's still the best female golfer on the entire planet. The Maybank loss doesn't change any of those fundamental facts about where she stands in women's golf. But for the 3rd consecutive year, she'll lie awake at night wondering what could have been. One more made putt, one better decision on a single hole, one fortunate bounce. That's all it would have taken to change the entire outcome. The cruel irony in all of this, Jeeno's Maybank curse might actually prove she's human after all, because even the world's best player can't win every tournament they should win. Even the most dominant seasons have heartbreaking losses. Even the most talented players face demons they seemingly can't slay, no matter how hard they try. Maybe next year will be different. Maybe 2026 will finally be Jeeno's Maybank redemption story. Maybe the 4th time's the charm and she'll finally break through at the tournament that's haunted her. Or maybe golf will remind us once again that deserving to win and actually winning are 2 completely frustratingly different things. And sometimes, often really, the best player doesn't get the trophy. They just get another painful lesson in why golf might be the cruelest game ever invented. The world #1 will keep dominating. She'll keep winning tournaments throughout 2025 and beyond. She'll keep proving to everyone why she's the best player in women's golf. But the Maybank Championship trophy, that one slipped away again. And somewhere right now, Jeeno Thitikul is already thinking about 2026, already planning how she'll approach it differently, already determined to finally break this curse. And so here's my question for you, and I genuinely want to hear what you think about this. Do you believe the best player should win, or does it only matter who performs when it counts on Sunday? Does season-long dominance mean anything when someone else goes low at exactly the right time? Is golf about being the best player all year, or is it just about who gets hot for 4 days? Drop your thoughts in the comments section, because this is the kind of debate that makes golf fascinating, and I want to know where you stand. And if you're into these deep dives on golf's most controversial moments and the stories that make you actually think about the game, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're not just covering the highlights everyone else talks about. We're breaking down the narratives that matter, the debates that are worth having, the questions that don't have easy answers, because sometimes the most interesting story isn't who won the tournament, it's who should have won it.